Art, womanhood, and poverty. Life in northern Appalachia is the complete opposite of glamorous for those in coal towns tucked away in the mountains. Those towns that were once beautiful and thriving are now left to rot, plagued with disease, addiction, violence, and poverty. 70% of Americans in poverty are women and children, and with a population of around 7,000, Shamokin, Pennsylvania has a poverty rate of 35.9%, which is over 3 times higher than the state average. It is hard being a woman in this area. It's a very conservative area, a lot of old school values. And for example, Roe v. Wade being overturned was a really big deal here. There was a lot of support for that here, which is really upsetting because this is my home. This is where I'm supposed to feel safe. And it's upsetting when your own community is kind of against you and is supportive of taking away my rights, my bodily autonomy. It was just really upsetting to see, and I wish it wasn't that way. I want to feel safe here. Like I said, this is my home. I worry about my mom. She's still a young woman. It's so upsetting. I have little cousins growing up here. You want them to be safe. You want them to be protected. You want them to have rights and a say over their own body. It's just heartbreaking, honestly. The decline of art programs is felt mostly in low-performing, low-income schools. Private and independent schools have access to private or additional resources that prevent budget cuts into the art programs, while low-income schools are moving their resources out of the arts and into math, English, and sports. This is to avoid being placed into a program improvement status and improve their sports teams. However, incorporating the arts into curriculum can actually benefit students and their performance in other classes. For example, Public Middle School 223 in the Bronx participated in a 4-year arts integration. The results were an 8% improvement in language arts scores, 9% improvement in math scores, and less absenteeism. It was definitely hard growing up here, being an artist. I remember my high school principal actually tried to defund the art program my freshman year to put more money into the football program. That was obviously a big issue. We had a wonderful theater, we had a wonderful art program in general. That was really heartbreaking to think that the football team could be so much more important than the arts. I remember another art teacher I had in high school who wanted to do a project based around religion. It was a project she did every year, and I'm personally not religious, and I chose to do mine on Buddhism, but there was an issue with that, and she told me that I actually had to do a Christian-based project, which I was not comfortable with. I know nothing about Christianity. I didn't grow up with that, and I just remember how upsetting that was, that I couldn't even express myself as an artist in art class simply because I didn't have Christian-based values or faith. Arts projects can improve poor, minority, and other disadvantaged communities. Arts projects can promote interaction in public spaces by having communities work together on a project, such as a parade, and encouraging others to come and enjoy their efforts. Celebrations are another example of art projects that can bring the community together, such as a festival or farmers market. Art projects can also bring the youth into the community, creating a safe space where they can receive mentoring, coaching, and education. They can also promote the importance of preservation of places because communities are more likely to keep spaces they often visit clean and safe. Arts programs can also encourage civic engagement, which allows for new programs and events to be created within a community. There is also definitely a lack of opportunities as an artist in the area as well. There's not really anywhere to go for pottery or painting classes. There's no art museums. It's not really something that this area focuses on. It's more sports, and obviously it's a more poor area. There's not a lot of funding into things like that. There's much bigger things to focus on than the arts. I understand that, but it's still really upsetting when art is something that you care about and there's nowhere really to go outside of high school, which once you graduate high school, where are you supposed to go, you know? So that's why I love being an artist in college. Now I have a way to express myself and I'm not hindered by the lack of resources in my own community. Engaging in the creative process helps improve our cognitive function and can reduce stress and anxiety. Art can also boost your self-esteem by giving yourself the ability to create without any judgment or criticism. Art is important for people of all ages all around the world and should be prioritized in communities, schools, and daily life.